Hi. This video gives you an introduction to a course called Mindful Coaching and Inquiry Skills, which I will be running in Glasgow in 2018. And in it you will see some examples of how I might interact with students or clients using a variety of different pathways and methods. So I hope you will get something from this video and enjoy it. I am Ratnadevi from Living Mindfulness in Glasgow. The roots of my mindfulness practice lie in Buddhism, which I encountered in Germany in my early 20s. And since then I have been meditating most days, and I'm also spending many weeks every year on retreat, either leading or participating. When I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and started injecting insulin 15 years ago, I got interested in Jon Kabat-Zinn's approach to mindfulness, and I'm inspired by this combination of Buddhist teachings on liberation from suffering with modern psychological and coaching approaches. And I do my best to see any difficulties as creative opportunities to grow, rather than as symptoms of some kind of pathology. If you are working with people, be it in a mindfulness class, as a supervisor, or in some other helping or mentoring role, you often find yourself in a situation where you don't quite know what to say to somebody who presents a problem. You may have heard about the 3 layers of inquiry or have some other concept in the back of your mind, but the only thing you can think of saying in the moment is something like this. So Liz, how did you get on in this meditation?
Oh, I just felt so sleepy.
Yeah, that can be quite a problem. Maybe next time you can just keep your eyes open.
Maybe.
This is one step up from saying try harder, which would probably make the person feel even more tired. Basically, we're trying to fix the problem, trying to make the client feel better, and ourselves as well. Maybe we doubt our teaching ability, thinking we should have been more interesting or more engaging, as if the proof of being a good teacher would be that everybody has a good time. Anyway, let's see what happens when we take a more curious approach.
Oh, I felt really exhausted, and I was really struggling to keep my eyes open. I could feel myself kind of nodding off, and I just couldn't keep any sort of attention to the meditation.
It sounds like it was quite a struggle.
Yeah, I just wished it wasn't like that, I wanted to feel more alert.
Yeah. And would it be okay just to explore that a little bit further, what was going on for you there?
Sure, yeah.
So that tiredness, where did you actually feel that in the body?
Well, as I'm talking about it now, I really can feel it in my eyes and my head and kind of upper body.
Yeah, sort of like a heaviness.
Yeah, a real weight pulling down. Yeah.
And when you were experiencing that in the meditation, how were you relating to that experience?
I just felt frustrated, and I just didn't want to feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted it to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are kind of several things going on there, aren't there? So there is like that unpleasantness of feeling the heaviness, and then there is a struggle to try to keep awake, and then there is also somehow disliking the whole experience, wishing it was different.
It was horrible. I just wanted to feel more alive and alert. Yeah.
And what is it like as you're describing the experience now?
Yeah, it feels a bit lighter now, and it feels really good to have recognized how much I didn't want it to be like that. Yeah, but how much that was a part of the discomfort with the experience.
This is a typical inquiry as practiced in mindfulness courses. It can lead to the realization that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. This can be a profoundly liberating shift in understanding. At the heart of this kind of inquiry is the realization that we have some choice as to how we view our experience. Here is another way to bring about this shift of view.
Oh, I was meditating again this morning and feeling really tired, and I thought maybe I'm just not very good at this.
So there is a part in you that tells you you're not very good at this.
Yeah.
Is that quite a familiar thing you tell yourself?
Been around a long time. Yeah.
So I wonder what it would be like to ask this part to step back for a little while and see if there's some other takes on the situation.
Yeah, could do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So what might be another view on this?
Well, I'm remembering now a time when I did some movement before I meditated, and I really felt like I could attend and was much more alert and enjoyed it. Yeah, maybe I can try that another time.
It's great when the client shifts into a more resourceful stance and comes up with their own good advice. It gives them confidence, which is what we all need more of, teachers and students alike. Confidence is one of the 8 C's which make up a resourceful self, self with a capital S. This is a model from IFS, Internal Family Systems. The other C's are calm, clarity, compassion, curiosity, creativity, connection, and courage. Our aim for ourselves and the client is to have as much of self in the seat of awareness as possible, or perhaps even more liberating, no self as Buddhists would have it. In any case, often the show is run by some other less wise and compassionate part of ourselves, like an inner critic, or sloth and torpor, as persistent sleepiness is described as in the Buddhist tradition. Accessing even a small degree of self allows us to unblend from the part that give us a hard time. Then we can choose to turn towards them, find out their good intention for us, and even befriend them.
I think I actually fell asleep, and yeah, and now I'm really fine. I feel wide awake, so I really don't know what's going on.
So I wonder whether we could actually try to get to know this tiredness a bit better.
Yeah, we can try it.
Yeah, so if you think of this tiredness almost like a person, what would it look like?
Yeah, it would be almost like, do you know the Black Riders from Lord of the Rings with their big black hoods?
I see.
And cloaked, and you can hardly see their faces.
Yeah.
It's so dark and overhanging.
Okay, so they can't see anything.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask this tiredness that is like this cloaked person what its good intentions are for you.
Yes, it's kind of protecting me from something. You know, it's maybe like shielding me from seeing something or feeling something difficult.
Yes.
Trying to keep me safe.
Trying to keep you safe. This could be the start of a powerful transformational process, including some healing of wounded parts and leading to greater psychological and spiritual integration. I have given you glimpses of a few different pathways towards greater wholeness and happiness. It takes some skill, experience, and intuition to know which kind of approach is the most useful one for your student at any given time and circumstance. The more relaxed, open, and at ease you are, the more attuned you will be to what is needed, which often is actually not very much, just some good questions. The client will do the necessary work themselves. There are the 8 C's, and there are also the 5 P's. and one of which is playfulness. Let's have one last go at this.
What are you making? Will you make a movie?
It's just really hard because I'm not sleeping that well, but then I want to meditate because I know it helps me during the day so much. It just seems like every time I meditate, I nearly fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know it's a little bit of a stretch, you know.
Yeah.
But if you imagine tiredness wasn't an issue, what would be possible then?
Yeah, it'd be great. It would be like, you know, just feeling a lot lighter and freer. Yeah.
You need to move.
So light and free.
Yeah.
So
Like, I imagine bouncing on a trampoline.
images are amazingly potent ways to linking us directly to our core values and needs. You can imagine how a state of tiredness might just shift by deliberately recalling the trampoline experience.
So earlier this year, I took part in a day with Ratnadevi on mindful and nourishing communication, and I really enjoyed the easy and fluent and very, very personal and safe facilitation that Ratnadevi offers. I felt very, very held and free to experiment and to, you know, get it wrong, and quite playful. And at the end of the day, I left with a whole new range of practices and a sense of you know, many more tools in my toolbox.
I've always felt quite slightly uncomfortable with the idea that what we're doing in mental health work is trying to fix problems. A lot of problems can't be fixed, and I find that what I've learned from the work I've done with Ratnadevi has helped me sometimes to step back, to develop different kinds of communicating with people, asking different kinds of questions, allowing things to be and to develop in their own ways, to some extent trusting the client's own knowledge and experience and allowing them to find their own resources.
Please have a look at my website www.livingmindfulness.net to find out more details and how to book. Coming up very soon, there is also a day on mindful and nourishing communication, 19th of November in Glasgow. This would give you the opportunity to experience for yourself what it is like to learn with me. Thanks for watching, and please forward this link to anyone else you think might enjoy it.